I know that everything is going well. Okay, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so we're gonna start this live in a bit. I have the questions. If you wrote your questions into the live Q&A, I wrote them down, old school style status. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. And we're gonna go live in a and answer these. So as you come in, today's more of a lax Q&A. It's not so much. I don't have so much adrenaline pumping. I have. I didn't drink too much coffee. Usually when I do these live Q&As, I'm on some coffee. I'm on some stuff that gets me a little excited. So let me just tag some people so we can see that we're going live. And this will be a live Q&A. So I want you to tell me if you guys enjoy the live Q&As, so we can continue with doing so. Let's go. Uh, yeah, sure. Okay, my brother's text me. Okay. All right, so let me just tag some people. Oh, no, no pause, no pause, no pause. Okay, so we're gonna start exactly at 3 minutes. I just want to add some of my groups. Cool. Okay. So guys, I want to give you guys a quick story. I was watching Kevin Hart's stand up last night. And it was stupid. That guy's a clown. He was talking about, you know, his life. He got the, so God bless him. He had the virus, but he got through it. But he used to talk about his life, how he is just enjoying himself, just saying how he feels, and just talking a lot. And he always gets me about like relationship jokes because I find those things to be 100% true. Um, but it's just funny. I enjoyed it. So if you didn't see the Kevin Hart, I think it's No F's Given. Go check it out. It gave me some joy. And last night I was on my group. I was talking about how to stay positive during the pandemic, during a pandemic. And you're going to learn about some of the mistakes I've made, some of the mistakes that I made the first time around. One of them were not handling my stress levels too well. So just focusing on the drinking, the excessive eating, excessive whatever. And that's how I gained 16 pounds. I had to go on a mini Hasagna cut. You guys followed it. You know what we were going through. So that's always good. So as you come in, guys, give me a thumbs up. We're going to start now. So, guys, welcome to the Hasagna live Q&A. Thank you so much for coming. I'm excited. Let's dive into these questions. So I posted on my Facebook story, Instagram story, and all this stuff, some questions that people had about losing weight and all that stuff. So here's a brief history of why I'm going to give you what makes me qualified to help you lose the weight, or why you should listen to me. Number one, okay, I was a head coach at a former boot camp, training over 200 to 300 people, through the calendar year, showing them how to lose up to 20 pounds, keep them off, all in 30 minutes. Showed busy parents how to get healthier, get stronger, lose the weight, feel more rejuvenated in their life, be better, step up to be the leaders that they want to be. And that's basically why I created the Haas program. So if you want to learn more about the Haas program, let me know, but that's the gist of it. So I was a head coach, recently published author, fitness author, have a blog, have a YouTube channel. So I've been doing this for about 7 years. So you can see all the advice, all the testimonials at my site, www.hasagna.com. And you'll see all of that. As you come in, give me a thumbs up. So that's why I'm qualified to help you. Head coach, over 300, tracked over 300 people I helped. Fitness, published in fitness. Have a blog, have a YouTube, have a podcast. So plenty of stuff that you can see and get from. So let's get into these questions. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. And if you don't know, I love lasagna, and I show people how to eat carbohydrates and still lose the weight, lose the fat without restrictive diet. That's a punchline of what I do. First question, all right? So from Stephanie Penny, I believe. She asks, basically, she hit a weight loss plateau. She lost 25 pounds with ease, super easy, and now she's at a plateau. What to do now? So Steph, I'm answering your question. I'm actually going to tag her in the, if I can, the comments. Steph, Kenya. Let me make sure I can. Oh, can't. Of course, I can't tag. All right. So, Steph, this is what I think. And if you've ever experienced a weight loss plateau, let me know in the comment section if you experienced a weight loss plateau. So I know I'm helping you out, talking to you directly. So this is what happens, Steph, when people start to work out, right? So say you haven't worked out in a long time, you want to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds. You haven't worked out in say 2 years, a year or two, whatever the case is. The second you start working out, your body's now responding to these workouts. So that means you're dropping weight fast. That means that everything seems like you're going to be losing more than a pound a week if you're tracking the weight, right? You're going to be feeling super energetic. You're going to be super just motivated because these results are coming so fast, right? And that's what gets people motivated. So when you first work out and you got weight to lose, you're going to be dropping weight, maybe 2 to 3 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds a week, right? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. And then all of a sudden, right, you think your body has hit a plateau. So what to do? If you don't know what a plateau means you basically stop making results. You stop getting results after a long period of time. And this kind of makes people go back inside their head. Like, it makes you go inside your head like, am I doing something wrong? Do I need to work out longer? Do I need to fast longer? Do I need to stop eating certain foods? So this is exactly what happens with a plateau. So a plateau, your body is now adjusted to whatever you were doing at the beginning. So we call those not like the fool's goal in weight loss, which means you kind of got spoiled. Your expectation is you're going to lose 3 pounds every week you work out until you get your goal weight because you started like that for 3 weeks. But that's not how it is. Like, human beings, your body is adapted. So now you can't do those same workouts that you were doing to make you lose weight when you first started doing them. You have to do some workouts that are more challenging. You have to push yourself and challenge yourself more to get a better result, because now your body has changed, your mindset has changed. A lot of stuff has changed since 3 weeks ago, especially at a rapid rate. Also, I do want to point out that maintenance is a result. Like, maintenance is like a great result you can also measure as well. Because if you lose the weight and keep it off, that's also a great way to tell you that you're consistent, you're disciplined, you're doing the right thing. Some things need to change, but maintenance needs to get a little more recognition, because it's hard to lose weight, but it's harder to keep it off, right? It's harder to do these things because we're in the middle of a pandemic, global again. So like going back to like with the old habits that gain the weight, keeping those away, that's like a great accomplishment as well. So here's how you can break through a plateau. Number one, so here's the action steps. Number one, recognize that you had an accomplishment for maintaining the weight. That's number one. Number two, you got to figure out, I don't know what you're doing. Are you tracking your food? So number one, are you tracking everything you eat? Like writing it down, pen and paper, right? Like writing it down. Because what happens is you could be eating more calories in between meals, like snacks or whatever cases, and not even realizing it. You could be drinking on calories, a la Starbucks, a la Dunkin' Donuts, right? All this stuff adds up. These calories adds up. You need to figure out what you're eating in between meals, or maybe you're not eating enough. That's a whole nother concept. But it comes down to record keeping. One, tracking what you eat, the times you eat, focusing on that. If you're weighing yourself, are you weighing yourself every day at the same time? This is stuff that's important, right? Number two, when you work out, how are you making the workouts more challenging for you to make sure that you're improving yourself? So are you resting? So here's a great way to do this. Number two, are you cutting down your rest in between your sets? Are you lifting heavier weights? Are you improving your running time? Are you doing anything to make your workouts harder? And those are some simple ways to make your workouts harder. Cutting down your rest, adding some supersets, which is basically adding exercises doing 2 exercises without any rest. A squat, jumping jacks, right? That's 2 quick exercises I can think of. Or a push-up and maybe a band pull or a pull-up. Those are two exercises that I can think of that would help you a lot. So supersets, are you got to figure out, you can mix it up. Like you could do boxing, you do jump, whatever the case is, but you have to consistently assess your fitness workouts, your fitness abilities to make sure that you're actually getting better. A lot of people just work out to work out and have no idea what they did weeks ago, right? And then you're like, I'm at a plateau. But if one of the things my program does is we focus on your performance. So if you say you're not at if you say you're at a weight loss plateau, right? See, Betty, and you're squatting more, you're rowing more, you're doing more push-ups, that itself shows you that you're getting stronger. So you're going to get some results. But if you're not tracking down what you're doing in the weight room, then it doesn't really matter. It's going to be hard to kind of go off that. You're just going to go off weight, and now you think you're at a plateau. And even if you're at a plateau, it's like, how do you weigh yourself? Do you weigh yourself the same time every day? Do you weigh yourself on an empty bladder? Do you like, how are you doing this? Because I found a lot of people don't even weigh themselves consistently. One day they'll weigh themselves at 6 a.m. Next day they'll weigh themselves at noon. Then they'll weigh themselves after a bad day of eating, right? So all this stuff matters because it will determine your weight, it will determine your energy level, it will determine your performance in the gym. So figure out, record everything, what you're eating in between meals and at meals. Record your workouts. Then finally, like focus on your stress levels. Do you have a morning routine that attacks your stress levels? Because stress levels will add weight to your midline, like your midsection, especially for women. Another thing I have to say, if you're a woman and you're struggling with a weight loss plateau, is you want to make sure that if it's your time of the month, you want to make sure of that. If you're weighing yourself at a certain time of the month, I believe the last 2 weeks, you're going to be heavier than you would 2 weeks prior. And for the most part, I found most women weigh themselves when they're, in that part of their cycle. It makes them heavier. So now they're stressed, they're having these cravings, and they're thinking that they need to do this unreasonable fast and diets and detoxes and nonsense like that. Doesn't work. So those are your 3 action steps I would focus on. Record keep, focus on like your workouts, focus on when you're weighing yourself, and meditate. You can use Headspace. It's a 10-minute, it's a free app for 10 minutes or something like that, whatever. Okay. So Steph, I hope that helped. Question number 1 in. Let's move along to question number 2. And if this is helpful, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know this is helpful for you guys. So question number 2. One lady just wrote, being sick. Yeah, being sick sucks, especially when you're trying to get in shape, lose the weight, or whatever. Yeah, it sucks. So first off, obviously, if you're sick, stay home, right? If you're sick, stay home. Because we're in a pandemic. So just want to put that out there. Number 2, being sick also, this is a few things. All right, so this might sound weird. So this is a little abnormal advice. I found that when people watch the news too much, like, so when I watch the news, I gave this to my group last night. When you watch the news too much and they're talking about all these sicknesses and high rates of this, and the beginning of COVID is like a headache or a snuffy nose, you may really start to think to yourself, like, oh my God, do I have a stuffy nose? And then you can actually start to think yourself into symptoms like headaches, bugs, like all this stuff. And sometimes it's just what you're consuming can make you sick, is what I'm trying to say. The power of the mind. So if you find yourself feeling under the weather after you watch the news, because you may have thought yourself into some kind of, I don't know, like sickness, potential sickness or symptoms, stop watching the news to start, right? Number 2, right? So load up on the zinc. Zinc is a great way, the multivitamin. Zinc is a great way to build your immune system, right? So zinc, elderberry, you could take that all, you could take all this in the morning, hydrate yourself, de-stress, wash your hands, but start drinking the multivitamins, the zincs, elderberries, vitamin C, vitamin D, getting some sunlight, de-stressing, etc. These are some preventive measures to get sick. If you're already sick, start talking to your doctor, getting some stuff like that. So focus on those things I said, and then, consult with your local doctor or something like that. If you're already sick, right? Go get testing, do all that good stuff. I personally got tested Wednesday, Monday. So you know how it goes. I was feeling the same way. So I'm giving you my own advice. In the meantime, I'm drinking water, hydrating, all that good stuff, right? So another one. Oh, thank you for your question, by the way. Thanks for the question. All right. So thank you for the question. The next one, another one, guys. Well, I don't know if I can see the comments. Can't see the comments. Okay. So here's another question. Basically, staying consistent with workouts because you're over snacking, right? You're snacking too much. This is a tough question. All right, this is a tough question. Usually, client coaches will give you some kind of strategy, like, oh, focus on small containers, focus on portion control. I think that's great advice. But here's what I've noticed, or here's what I've found people are doing when they can't stop snacking. They're excessively eating, binge snacking, right? And they're focusing with, they can't be consistent. Number one, it's called stress. Okay. It's called stress. If you're stressed, there's this thing called willpower that decreases. Okay. As your willpower decreases, you can't stop snacking, right? You can't stop snacking. As your willpower decreases, you can't stop snacking. So if you're struggling with excessive snacking and you're not consistent, I'm telling you, I found the number one thing is because you're stressed. The higher your stress levels are, the lower your willpower will become. And when it's going like stress high, willpower low, now we can't stop snacking because we have no willpower to stop the snacking. And the only thing that makes you feel better when you're snacking, when you're stressed, are the snacks, right? The cookies, the uh, the chips, the soda, the beer, the good stuff, right? That you know is going to put you further away from your health goal. So, like I said, general fitness advice would be to focus on your portion control. But since I don't like to give general advice, I'm telling you, I know mentally what you're going through because when I was dealing with the first wave of Corona, I was so stressed, my willpower was shot. Okay, I thought I had Corona every single day, and I was super stressed. And as a result, I was snacking every day excessively. I probably wasn't even eating regular food. I was eating nothing but I had rolls. I was eating chocolate chip cookies by the day, man, like rolls of it. Cookies, popcorn, soda, ginger ale. I had a 30 pack of ginger ale, Sprite, whatever. It made me feel much better, but it made me gain a lot of weight. That goes back to the plateau question. I was drinking on like 6 pounds, like, drinking on. I was drinking so much coffee, so much Sprite, so much beer, wine every night, watching the news, or whatever. You know, I was doing all that. And it gave me weight because I was stressed. I wasn't dealing with my internal stressors. So the way you need to be more consistent is this: what you're going to do. Action step time. You're going to print a blank calendar. 30 days in a blank calendar, right? This is not a calendar, but it should look like this. If you see on YouTube, you can see this, right? Calendar. You're going to put day 1, day 2, day 3, so on. It's going to say till day 30. Okay, day 30. This would be a calendar. This is for consistency part. Every time you work out, meditate, and do something for yourself, you're going to give yourself a check, right? You see that check? You see that check? That check means you did the right thing for yourself. Every day you did it, and I stole this from Jordan Sayat. Just stole this from Jordan Sayat, so I got to give him credit for it. Every day you do not do something for yourself, you're going to put an X, like a red X. That means you did not do for yourself. For 30 days, you got to find out something you can do that fits your lifestyle. Walking, meditating, drinking water, reading, walking the dog. And you're going to put a check. You need 30 checks in a row, but it has to be sustainable. It should not be workout 2 hours a day. It should not be fast for 16 hours a day if you've never fasted before, because fasting doesn't work when you're stressed. I'm telling you from my experience. Then at the end of the month, when you get 30 checks, you're now consistent. Now you're going to do that again for another 30 days. Or if you want to take a 3-day break, fine. But you're proving to yourself you're consistent, right? Now, every time you don't, you're going to put an X. If you have more X's than checks, then you are doing something wrong. And it's your job to fix that, make it sustainable. That's how you deal with the consistency. You have an actual tangible plan on how to deal with inconsistency. Calendar. All right. Then we talk about consistency. Oh, that's the workout part. We talked about the snacking. The meditating is going to improve your willpower. So once again, meditate for 30 days and make the snacks. Throw away your snacks now. I want you to grab a plastic garbage bag, pause this live video. If you're listening and you're struggling with excessive snacking, go grab a black garbage bag, go inside your snack cabinet, all the cookies, all the Doritos, all this stuff, throw them away right now. If you can't do it, call a friend or whatever and throw it away. Get it out of your sight, get it out of your mind. It's going to force you to find other stuff to do. Okay. You can also set a timer, 30 minutes, and just do something else to distract your mind and see if you really still want it. That's what we deal with that, right? Consistency. That also deals with the craving. So Demisha asked me about consistency and craving. So Demisha, we just gave the answer to the consistency. I don't want to be repetitive. I like repetition. But cravings, the more you, and for women, it's also a hormonal thing. So the more you're stressed, listen, stressed people, the more you're stressed, the more you're going to start to crave that bad, high sugary snacks, foods, processed that make you gain weight. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a snack here and there. Let me tell you, right? Let me tell you, I think that's a great thing. But the more stressed you are, the more that willpower decreases, the more you're going to have these cravings. For women, it can also be hormonal if it's that time of the month. I can't help you with that because I'm not an endocrinologist. So that's what that is. So here's how you deal with the cravings. We talked about throwing them away, but you need to meditate. You need to increase the willpower. You need to focus on positivity. That's one of the major things we're going to do to get through this pandemic, right? One of the major things we'll get through this pandemic is focusing on like positivity. So if you're one of those people with that pessimistic mindset, like you're focusing on the mortality rate, focusing on the shutdowns, you're focusing on can't control, what's up, saying what's up, oh, got my girl coming in, trying what's up, warm me what's up, right? If you're focusing on the shit you can't control, what Cuomo's going to do, right? Because we have no idea what this guy's going to do. You're focusing on, all the stuff you can't control. You're going to feel very. That's not the best thing to do going into a potential second wave because that's what we're in, right? So the best way you're going to focus on improving your mindset is you're going to focus on what you can control, your attitude, what you listen to. Like, how do you start your mornings? If you start your mornings, and let me know, if you start your mornings with responding to 10 emails at 6 a.m., just looking, if you roll over in the phone and you just wake up your Instagram emails, you're already off to a bad day. Why? Because you're probably going to hear some BS from social media. You're probably going to hear some BS from Cuomo, hear some BS from whatever the case is. So now you're starting your day off with BS. The day just started. Now you have to go into meetings. You have to go dealing with children, dealing with girls, or whatever, whatever you do. Spouses, whatever, you know what I mean, right? Now it's just like I already have a bad attitude. So when you walk out in the morning and somebody takes your parking space, it's like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Now what it's called reactive mindset. That's being reactive. Now you're just jumping into the majority of people in this world being super negative, being super reactive, and now you're just a part of that army. I'm inviting you to be a part of a different kind of army, especially in my clients. What's the best thing that can happen to me today? Why is today a good thing? What's 3 things I'm going to do today that's going to help me, help somebody? Go do an act of kindness. Do something like that that's going to help people, make you feel good. Do shit you can control. How you going to control your attitude? Like, this pandemic stuff is serious. And negativity, if you're going to be negative, you're going to be more stressed. You're going to have more cravings to drink the sugar, the processed food, because it's going to make you feel good for a minute. 5 minutes later, you're going to feel terrible, right? So you got to focus on what you're taking in between your ears, man, and young lady. All right. So I hope that answered it. What's up, bro? What's up, man? What's up, bro? Nah, man, just saying, glad you guys are doing well. All right, now moving on to motivation. Got a question about motivation. One of my former clients, she asked me about motivation. So let's dig into that now. So I was recently quoted in an article on the Human Window about motivation, on how to stay motivated. So if you want to see the article, let me know. I will shoot it over. And this is exactly what I said for the interview in this article. So it's very actionable and something you can do now, right? So to be frank, I don't believe in motivation, right? I don't believe in motivation. When clients hire me and they say, oh, I have no motivation, I don't believe that people don't have motivation because I can't motivate you to do the right thing, eat the right foods, do the workouts, and show for yourself, right? I believe people have an extreme problem with self belief. People are not encouraged. People are not dealing with positivity. They're dealing with more negativity. They're believing and they're focusing on their past failures, right? And this brings them down. This makes very pessimistic. When you're in that state, motivation is literally so far away. And you think it's motivation, it's not. It's a lack of like like you said, like I said, self-belief, right? So here is one thing or two things I said to the article in the human window. If I can remember what I said. Um, Here's one strategy I use for them, right? So you're gonna read and record yourself, coaching yourself, right? So here's what it would like. Imagine this is an iPhone, or hopefully it's an iPhone, not a Galaxy. So you're gonna say, hey, listen, this is what I say to myself. Hey, listen, Haas, it's 3:30 in the morning, 3:45 when I get it, right? Hey, Haas, I know you want to go back to sleep, but you said that you're going to build this business and help many people by 2022, ideally 1,000. You know, you're going to feel so much better when you get up. You'll sleep later in the day. You're going to eat right. You're going to work out even though you don't want, even though it's cold outside. You're going to stop the bullshit. You're going to overcome the self-sabotage of success that you have, or you know, listen to other people think. You're going to move. Get up out of bed. You're going to move and be the person you need to be. Get your ass up. Right? You can do this. That's like me motivating myself to do my own, like get to my own BS because like everybody deals with BS, their own BS. If they say they don't, I don't believe them, right? I think they're lying. So for your motivation is you need to coach yourself sometimes, right? You need to get or hire a coach who believes in you so that you believe in yourself. I believe in all my clients, especially if I work with them. I believe that they're going to get through their bullshit to become healthier, stronger, all that stuff. And then when they see that I believe in them, they start to believe in themselves, and then they start to act very differently. So that's what I think you need. You need to get somebody who believes in you, and then you need to learn how to dig deep for internal motivation. Because if you're gonna say you're gonna hire somebody to get you up out of bed in the morning and not eat right, that's a joke, right? Because you can only this is you versus you. You can only like nobody can force you to not do what you really want to do, right? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like you're dealing with yourself all day, and you have to build a stronger self to defeat that lower self to be superiorly motivated to get these results. That's what it's about. And that's why people hire me is because not only do I write decent workouts, I'd say, or give people results, it's like I also elevate that self-belief. I elevate that self-confidence that you can go in this world and deal with the BS. The BS, slap away the Starbucks every day, slap away all the processed food, slap away all of that to get stronger and healthier. That's the whole point, man. That's motivation. I'll shoot over the interview with the human window. So if you're not motivated, you need to ask yourself why. Who are you hanging around? What are you watching? What are you doing? And do you believe you can do it? I just gave you the steps. Okay. So uh that's next. So somebody wrote me on Instagram and they said having sex every day. I don't really know what to say to that. What about having sex every day? Do you want exercises to help you have sex every day? Or you like do you they just wrote having sex every day. It was it. It was no, how do you have sex every day? Because I don't the way you have sex every day is like go G your girl up and you know, just fucking keep it spicy. And I don't know. I don't know how to have sex. Like, what do you? I'm just gonna leave that question alone. All right. I'm just gonna leave that question alone. I don't have the answer to that. I don't have the answer to that question. Okay. Don't have the answer to that question. I'm very sorry. All right. So hold on. We're not done. I gotta stop the podcast. All right. So if you listen to the podcast, thank you for listening. We're done in 10 seconds. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Okay. So let me get back to my questions here. Okay. So ideally, have a story. I don't know today. So here's another thing. We got people busy at work, dealing with excessive snacking and eating out too much on the weekend was the exact question. So here we go. Let's dig in. So one of the things I've noticed working with busy moms, busy dads, or just busy working professionals while they're at work, or working, I should say, especially during remote times, is your bosses feel like you should be more. available. Like since you're at home, they feel that your work hours are going to extend because now they're not with you, and now they're expecting you to have much more quick like response times, quicker quicker response times. You're more available, and it's like you're not. You got stuff to do. You may have homeschooling. You just may have. It's just crazy, right? But they don't give. They don't care about that. So here's what you're gonna do if you're struggling with work and making time for yourself. This is what you're going to do. So write this down. This is why I have a pen and paper because I need people to start writing it down. All right, that's how you're gonna remember. A dull pencil is better than a sharp pen, or whatever it's called. I forgot the name of the thing. Somebody told me. I forgot. You're gonna make time for yourself. It's called Power Hour. And all my clients is a morning routine. Bury yourself in the morning routine. This is what happens when you're not in a morning routine. You're gonna wake up. You're just gonna go to work. You're gonna work for 8 hours or 9 hours, and then you're gonna be prepared to do anything for yourself. No working out. You're probably eating one time or two times during the day. Coffee and an apple, probably a sip of water. You don't want to do that, right? So this is what you're going to do if you're struggling with time for yourself. All right. So if you're struggling with time for yourself, bury yourself in a morning routine. Here is a simple morning routine: hydrate, meditate, write daily gratitude, workout. Hydrate, meditate, write daily daily gratitude and a workout. So let's break that down for a minute. Meditate 10 minutes, decreases the stress, improves your willpower, gets you mentally ready for the day. Number one. So we got to have mental warriors. We got to have this mindset to get us through the bullshit. Because if you have a mental weak mindset, unfortunately, a lot of people during the first period of the pandemic, suicides like were high, depression, loneliness, uh, just feeling lost and alone. Like this is the stuff that people don't talk about, right? Like my company is bigger than just giving people good workouts. It's so much more than that. It's about getting people the lifestyle they need to deal with anything that life throws at them, right? Like me personally, like I dealt with a lot in my life, right? Like dad died when I was 10 of kidney failure, so dealing with that, dealing with, you know, um, moving along. Like I had when I was in my peak physical, uh, I guess condition and shape, and this is what I felt when I was wrestling. 13, 14, I was like 8% body fat, had a 14 pack, you know, all this stuff. But I got hurt. I had a back injury, and a doctor said, "Yo, listen." He looked at me dead in the eye. Like imagine a doctor looking you dead in the eye and telling you, "Yo, you're never gonna play another sport again. You're lucky you're not paralyzed." And as an eighth grader, like your physical career, your athletics are done. You're gonna get hurt, and if you get hurt again, you're gonna be paralyzed, right? Then he just walked out like all doctors do. I'm not. I shouldn't say that. I apologize. There's some really good doctors out there. Just got ahead of myself. There are really good doctors out there, but this doctor, I don't think he handled it the right way. So I was crushed, So I had to figure out, and I was in bed rest for like 8 months. I missed half my senior year in high school because I had so much pain in my back I couldn't walk, right? Um, and that gave me a different outlook on fitness. Like I realized that fitness is much bigger than abs and look, whatever. It's just like when you get down at your lowest point, what are you going to rely on? Your abs aren't going to help you. The freaking bench presses are going to help you, right? It's your mindset. It's going to be your mindset that's going to pull you out of the. If that's going to pull you out of uh, whatever mental hole you're in, because it's you versus you there, right? When you're at your lowest, and Kevin Hart was talking about this yesterday. I was talking about how I was watching this live. This thing is special. It's you versus you, man. You versus you, and you need to be prepared for that. So that's why I think mindset is important. So it needs to be in your daily routine. So daily routine for if you're working too much, you can't have time for yourself. Here's a daily routine. That's why mindset's important. I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. So meditate, hydrate. If you're not hydrated, your energy level is going to be low. Your metabolism is literally going to slow down. You're going to have terrible like digestive issues. You know, being obviously not to be all graphic, but like if you have digestive issues, you're going to be bloated. You're going to hold on to food longer. It's a bad deal. Drink water, hydrate, right? Drink that first thing in the morning. Flush all those toxins out. So immensely, well, mentally detoxing, or physically detoxing with the water, right? Um, right, gratitude, right? What are you grateful for? There's something you're grateful for. And what this does is this subconsciously trains your mind to look at the good things in your life. So if Cuomo shuts things down again, or whatever the case is, or if your school shuts things down, or somebody next to you had a positive test, of the COVID, you're gonna say, you know what, this sucks, but I have teeth today, right? It sounds so stupid, but it works. I have teeth. I can smile. I can say hello to my friends on Facebook. I can do a live. I can record a podcast. I can write a blog. Like these little things tell your mind what's really good about the day, as opposed to saying what's really bad. And you get to pick, right? 25 things I'm grateful for. I have a dog. Hey, Betty. She's right there. I don't know if you guys can see her. Hey, Betty. Betty. All right. Well, she's ignoring me. If you listen to the podcast or YouTube, Betty's there. Like, that's what I'm grateful for. I have a house, roof over my head. I have food to eat. I have friends and shit. Now my brain's already trying to think of the good stuff. So when Cuomo comes on the news and he goes, you can only have 10 people at the house at Thanksgiving, you're going to be like, well, at least I have 10 people to invite. Do you see how that works? Do you see that shift? Oh, at least I have 10 people to invite to my house. At least I have a house to invite people to if I do. At least I have a phone to call people. Do you see how these little things can make you feel so happy and so like positive about like life, your life? And that's what people don't understand. And I don't want to get upset, but sometimes I get heated about that. So I hate pessimism. I hate people who are I hate people's mindsets. I don't hate people. I hate the mindset of people who focus on the negative and then focus on the positive after. Like, why would you bury me in negativity and say, oh, well, I guess it works, right? Why would I? I don't want to go on a brand, right? Sometimes I have that habit. My clients know them. Hydrate, meditate, write gratitude, and of course, work out. So, busy person who cannot find time for themselves because they're buried in work and have no consistency with their workouts. That's what you're doing. It's your morning routine. Last part of his workout. Now, here's before you get all type A on me, ask me about what workouts you should do. Keep it very simple so that you can do it for a consistent amount of time. Number one, you can just walk 30 minutes a day. You can just walk. You can do yoga. You can do a live boot camp class, live Zumba class, live something, right? It doesn't have to be so like I deal. So I have a lot of clients. I have a lot of clients who are accountants and stuff like trade. So they're very number based. So the numbers have to make sense. In fitness, which you will soon understand, is that the numbers don't matter as much as you think. They are important, but consistency is important over your set reps, set numbers, and set time to work out. I'll give you the perfect example before I move along to the next question. Right? Oh, there are no more questions. The last one. I'll give you a perfect example of why consistency is the number one thing you need to focus on if you can't work out consistently or work out at all. You can have the perfect workout plan. Stein, Felix, what's up? You can have the perfect workout plan, right? But if you cannot do this perfect workout plan for 60 days, you're not going to get the results. So it doesn't matter what workout plan you have. Upper body, lower body and upper body, CrossFit, which I don't even want to go into. So whatever. If you can't do it consistently, you will not get any results, period. That's just a fact. And a lot of my clients ask me, how many sets, how many reps, how long should I work out? And I ignore those questions. I say, show me your consistency calendar. Have I seen you for 30 days at a workout? Because if I have not, I don't even want to entertain this question of how many sets and how many reps. Because then you think that if you do 15 reps of a certain exercise, you're going to get the results. And that's because I didn't explain to you the whole situation, the whole concept here, man. I think that sets and reps do matter. I don't want you to think they don't. But consistency is the number one thing, right? You're not consistent. I don't care how many sets and reps you're doing. So if you're inconsistent, don't focus on the sets and reps. Focus on being consistent. That's the simplest way I could put it, man. And then we'll talk maybe tomorrow about sets and reps. Or I think I did a podcast, a video about that. But yeah, that's it, man. All right, so we're wrapping up the live Q&A today. Um, if this was very helpful, and I appreciate everybody who's jumped in the live on all mediums, I appreciate it. This is what we can do. So once again, thank you for. I need you to like, tag, comment if this was helpful. And this is a more lax form of content for me because, like, you know, I just enjoy talking to people, to you. Stan, I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for joining. I miss you, man. Hope all is well. Congrats on the new edition. Um, so if this was helpful, like, comment, subscribe, uh, tag a friend or whatever. But you can find more about me at www.hasagna.com. And like this, where it's basically this is what my company does. It's very simple, right? Show people how to lose fat and lose weight without restrictive diets. So if you're one of those people that are like, I like carbohydrates, but I want to lose weight, cool. I love lasagna, so we might be a match. But it's not for people who don't want to be held accountable. It's not for people who want to try the next fad diets because it's terrible. For me, I can't work with people like that. There's other people out there. So yeah. But I have plenty of blogs out there. Plenty of getting back to my YouTube stuff. So give it a like, give it a comment. I appreciate the support, guys. That's gonna wrap it up. You guys have a great day. Stay positive, and go from there. All right. Peace. All right. So Facebook, I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. We'll put the www.hatsani.com. If you have any more questions, shoot me a message. Figure it out. Have a good one. Talk to them. Peace. All right. So on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. You guys are fantastic. That was part 2. Make sure you see part 1. I went on a crazy rant, but whatever. www.hasani.com. Tag and please tell a friend if this was helpful. Did I stop? Oh, YouTube. You know what time it is. Thank you so much for YouTube. You guys are great. I'll put my site in the comments, and I appreciate it, man. All right. You guys be well. Be safe. Any questions, please let me know. Peace.